Yusuf Estes, and I'm looking for something. Actually, I'm looking for someone. Is that someone you? I want Dawa partners, and you can be my Dawa partner right now. It's real easy. Just go to dawapartners.com, sign up, and join me. There are 3 things that I would like for you to be able to do. Any one of them or all of them. Beautiful. Number 1, you will make dua. So you can be our Dawa partner, even if you don't go to the website, but I hope you do. Number 2, share. Share this message and let other people know about becoming Dawa partners. And number 3, help us financially. Donate on a monthly basis, even if it's small. Allah loves the thing that you do regularly, even if it's small, more than the thing that you do that's really big, but you only do it once. Join me as a Dawa partner. Do it now. Click, 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 click.
A way of life, a way of life, a way of life, a way of life. Islam is a way of life, a complete way.
And we're coming to you almost live from our studios right here in Southern California. And we're, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, we're very blessed today for a lot of reasons. But there's some strange things going on. And so if you would share this right away, we can get started. All right? And Sister Kim is with us. Sister Kim, how are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah and salam alaikum. I'm doing just fine.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Well, it's great to have you with us, and we've got a couple of things to talk about, not the least of which is there is an asteroid. Sister, there is an expected meteor, not a meteor shower tonight. It's an actual asteroid, and an asteroid that is anywhere up to roughly 800 to 900 feet across, and it's traveling at the speed of about 13,500 miles per hour.
Yeah, they do go very fast.
Yeah, there's nothing to really, there's hardly any resistance in outer space, and that's how they can attain these kind of speeds. 13,000, even if it's just 13,000 miles an hour, I think you'd get a pretty big ticket for that, right?
Oh yeah, you definitely would.
Well,
and how is this one supposed to pass to us?
Well, yeah, it's tonight. It's supposed to be a roughly 7:53, just before we go off the air. Well, let's see. No, that will be 7:50.
That'll be about an hour after we go off.
At about an hour after we go off. So, but I don't know what time zone that was, because it said local time, and I don't know where the local time was for that. Maybe New York, which would mean it already happened. Or if it's in Texas, it's going to happen, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. I'm not going to play with the time game again tonight. So
yeah, that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that our government and governments around the world have astronomers whose job it is to watch for what they call near-Earth objects, or anything that could possibly collide with Earth. And we've had some close calls. A couple of years ago, we had an asteroid that passed between the moon and Earth. And
yeah, well, this one is not even going to be close. It said it's about 12 times the distance from the Earth to the moon. So it's not going to be in between. That one is, I remember what you're talking about. They were really concerned about that one.
Right. Yeah, so this one isn't anything to worry about. That's good.
Well, hopefully not. Anyway, mashallah. Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up anything about that so that folks can get a handle on what we're talking about here. It's aggravating to me that we're not able to just quickly put up things. But I guess I should be happy the fact that well, this was sent to me in an email, and it says giant asteroid named. It's going to do a flyby. That's what it says, flyby. Anyway, it's named 2021 GM4. It's an asteroid expected to pass Earth by 7:53 local time. Its size is between 360 and 820 feet across, and the speed is over 13,421 miles per hour. That, I don't know how they can figure that. I guess they're using police radar. What do you think, sister?
They have big radio telescopes that they can hear what's going on, and they can clock the speed of things. And another way they can do it is they'll take a picture of the asteroid at one period of time, and then they'll take another picture about 10 minutes later, and they calculate the speed by how fast it's moved in the pictures.
Oh, okay. God forbid that they get the distance wrong, right?
Well, inshallah, they've gotten them correct so far, so
I hope they get it right. Anyway, so I wanted to kind of talk about something else. This is Sisters' Night, and so I had something about sisters, early sisters of what they will call Christianity, but I just say this is the early believers, and this is from the Bible. And it says, trembling and bewildered, the women went out and fled from the tomb. I'm reading this from the Bible. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid. And that is the end of the book of Mark. The book of Mark, chapter 16, verse 8. Now, what's strange is that that's the oldest copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a translation of a copy of a copy. Anyway, that is the oldest that they've been able to find of this statement. Newer manuscripts, now imagine this, say something else. The newer manuscript says, right after that, it said, they were trembled and bewildered. The women went out. This was the women that went into the tomb. They were going to, prepare the body for Jesus' body for burial or so on. But when they got there, he wasn't there. So it said, they said nothing to anyone because they were afraid. Now, I've got something here that I don't know if I can show it or not. No, I can't. But it says, some manuscripts have the following ending between verses 8 and 9, and one manuscript has it after verse 8, but omits verse 9 to 20, while other manuscripts of ancient witnesses do not have these verses 9 to 20. Okay. Then they quickly reported all these instructions to those around Peter. This was something that has been added, obviously. Said they quickly reported all these instructions to those around Peter. And after this, Jesus himself also sent out through them from east to west the sacred and imperishable proclamation of eternal salvation. Amen. Okay, but it doesn't say what the salvation is, but that's a different story than trembling and bewildered. The women went out and fled from the tomb, and they said nothing to anyone because they were afraid. Now suddenly they quickly reported all of the instructions to those around Peter, and after this, Jesus himself also sent out through, wait a minute, he's supposed to be dead. I mean, we spoke about this last time, Sister, about some of the things that are confusing. Would that confuse you?
It definitely does confuse me. I hope you don't mind, like we talked about last night, my knowledge of Christianity is very sparse. The 3 women that went into the tomb, was that the 3 Marys?
Yeah. Well, now, I wasn't prepared for that question, and I should have been. Hold on a second. Let's see. Yeah. I'm on the wrong computer here, but let me try this again. There we go. I was spelling it wrong. Okay. Mark 16. Let's just do that. Let's see what we pull up, because I want to include the folks at home to be able to see what we're doing here. And I think this is a good way to do it, like this. Yeah, here we go. That's maybe the best way to do it, is to just put it up there and let them see what we're doing. All right. So this is it says the resurrection of Jesus. However, we just heard something about him just running around doing stuff with them too after the, good question. It said when the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, and Salome. That's the third one is not named Mary. The third one,
okay,
yeah, is Salome. All right. I don't know how to pronounce it. They bought spices so they might go and anoint him. All right, after the crucifixion. Then it continues. It said, and very, I don't know what it means, very early. Oh, yeah, early in the morning. Yeah, very, very early on the first day of the week, they went to the tomb when the sun had risen. And they were saying to each other, who will roll away the stone for us from the door of the tomb? Because they used to, like in some cases, put a giant boulder in front of the cave so nobody could take out the body, or, and pillage or whatever. And in this case, they said that they wanted to put somebody there to watch over it. But anyway, I'll go back to this. And upon looking up, they saw that the stone was already rolled back. It was very large. And entering the tomb, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, dressed in a white robe. And they were amazed. I don't know if they were amazed at his robe or because he was sitting there, or maybe they didn't estimate that this little guy could roll away the big stone. I don't know. But anyway, it says they were amazed. And then he said to them, do not be amazed. You seek Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified. But he has risen, he's not here. See the place where they laid him? But go tell his disciples and Peter that he is going before you to Galilee. There you will see him as he told you. What? How can a person who just died and supposed to be in the grave for 3 days and 3 nights, and it's only Sunday morning here, and they put him in on just before Friday night, so wow. He got up and left. I don't know. Anyway, so it's saying that you will see him as he told you. And they went out and fled from the tomb, for trembling and astonishment had come upon them. And they said nothing to anyone, for they were afraid. Now, then it goes on to say that Jesus appears to Mary Magdalene. All right, let's put that up so you can see that. Now, when he rose early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to... Now, what? Okay, what's the first day of the week, sister?
According to the modern calendar, it's Sunday.
Right. Most people, when they read this, they think Monday, the first day of the work week, right?
Yeah, I would guess so. But yeah, on the calendar, if you look at a calendar, it's Sunday.
Yeah. So this brings up a whole new story, because why would it say, now, when he rose early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene? Because accordingly, the reason that they shut down everything and they had to get him off the cross and put him into the grave is because once the sun goes down on Friday, you can't do anything. And that's still that way for the Jews today. When the sun goes down on Friday, you don't do anything until Saturday night when the sun goes down again. And nobody wants to go to a graveyard or a tomb after dark. So that makes sense that they would go out there the very next morning, which would be Sunday morning. Okay? And now when he rose early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene. He meaning Jesus, I guess, from whom he had cast out 7 demons. She had jinn in her and he cast them out, all right? She went out and told those who had been with him as they mourned and wept. But when they heard that he was still alive, and had been seen by her, they wouldn't believe it. Now, this is in the book of Mark. Supposedly, the oldest of the anything that they have in their hands or have even had in the last 1,500 years. This is the oldest. And I don't know what to think. So let's go to the next part of it. It said, Jesus appears to 2 disciples. After this, he appeared in another form to them, to the 2 of them, as they were walking into the country. And they went back and told the rest, but they didn't believe him. Now, it says Jesus commissions the disciples. Again, I don't understand how this is saying that he's alive and he's not dead. And afterward, he appeared to the 11 themselves as they sat at the table. And he upbraided them for their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they had not believed those who saw him after he had risen. And he said to them, go out into all the world and preach the gospel to the whole creation. He who believes and is thus baptized, like we do, we wash ourselves after we come into Islam. It said, but he does not believe, even though he believes and is baptized, those will be saved, but even though that they don't believe, and they will be condemned. Okay, then these are the signs that will accompany those who believe. All right, in my name they will cast out demons, they will speak in new tongues, they will pick up snakes. Now this one says serpents, and they will drink any deadly poison. And this one says any deadly thing. It will not hurt them, They will lay hands on the sick and they will recover. And that is a mark of a true believer. Now, Sister,
yeah, we do have churches that do that. They handle serpents and they drink poison and things like that. Although I've heard that the end results are not always as good as they hope.
Pick up snakes. Let me put that in here and see what we get out of this. Well, sure enough. I got a picture here. Let's see if I can show it to you guys. There it is. This is a church, and they're showing somebody picking up a snake. And here's another person picking up a snake. I'm trying to show it. Not doing a very good job of it. But, yeah. Here we go. Here's another one. He's picking up his snake right in front of the cross. And there's another one. Now, these are boa constrictors, and I've handled a lot of boa constrictors in my life, and they're not dangerous at all unless they bite you. It's not that it's poisonous, but it's like anything that bites you. It could be dangerous because the thing biting you, it's not like a surgical knife that's been cleaned up or anything. This is a snake biting you, and you still need to go to the doctor and get it treated, I think, looked after and so on. But
well, I've been bitten by so many snakes. I used to have boa constrictors and Burmese pythons and things like that, and when they bite you,
it hurts.
It hurts. First of all, they hit you with a lot of force. If you get bit by a big one, you feel like you got hit in the arm with a baseball bat. But they've got dozens of tiny, tiny little teeth, and they lacerate your arm quite badly. And there's usually quite a bit of bacteria in their mouths. So if you don't clean it well, you can very easily get an infection.
Well, now you're talking about cleaning something up before you. I just showed a picture of a guy that looked like he was trying to put the snake in his mouth. I don't know what that was all about. But we're talking about drinking deadly poison. Now, have you ever heard of that before of the Bible?
Yes, I have heard of that, and I know that some of these churches that handle serpents, the pastor will sometimes also drink what he claims to be poison. I have no way of verifying whether or not he actually is. He could be. But they'll sip poison in front of their parishioners and apparently not have any ill effects.
Well, I'd like to share something with our audience right now. Mark 16 and verses 17 and 18, it said, "And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name they shall cast out devils. They will speak with new tongues. They will take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, they will not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover." Now, that's pretty close to the one that I grew up with as well. And the problem comes in that people take this literal, and they actually pick up these snakes, and some even claim that they're drinking poison. I'm like you, I don't know for sure if it was really a poison. But would you like to know about the case of a Muslim scholar who did drink poison right in front of the audience?
Yes, I would definitely like to hear about that, but we got to take a break before we tell that story.
Oh my goodness gracious. You're right. We got to take a break. Guys, stay tuned, stay guided with
Guidus TV.
I love the way you say that. Guide Us TV, watched by many, loved by all. New Muslims, young Muslims, born Muslims, non-Muslims, all enjoy it. Guide Us TV, never ads, always free. Let's keep it free, no ads. Support and share, and get guided with Guide Us TV. All right, we are back. You're watching Guide Us TV, and we just had a break. Now we're back to our program, Talk About It. And what we want to talk about tonight is some of the things that are going on with the various churches when they're talking about drinking a deadly poison. Now, it happened. This, by the way, the reference for all of this is in the Bible, in the book of Mark, the second gospel in the New Testament, and that has 3 different versions that I am aware of myself, and I think I've heard about a fourth version, a different ending. Now, they all pretty much say the same thing up to verse 8, but when it comes to verse 9 through 11, that's 3 more verses, it seems like it's quite a bit different. And then another one, it has something else from 9 to 21 or something like that. And these are very different. And so, I don't know. Some of the manuscripts have the following ending from verse 8 and 9. And it says, they went quickly away, reported all these instructions to those around Peter. After this, Jesus himself also sent them out through east and west and sacred, imperishable proclamation of eternal salvation. That's something was in circulation a couple hundred years after Jesus, but it's not the oldest. The oldest one is just stops after it says that trembling and bewildered, the women went out and fled from the tomb. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid. That's how it ended. Now, in another case, this has some verses in it, and it goes all the way up to 19. All right, 20. Yeah, here it is. It says up to 20. And this one, it's telling us that Jesus rose up early on the first day of the week, and that would be Sunday. In other words, he got out of there before Mary did, Mary Magdalene, to whom he had driven out 7 demons. Okay, but then in verse 17 it says, and these signs will accompany those who believe. In my name they will drive out demons. They will speak in new tongues. They will pick up snakes with their hands. This is the one that I'm familiar with. And when they drink deadly poison, it will not hurt them at all. They will place their hands on sick people and they will get well. And then after the Lord Jesus had spoken to them, he was taken up into heaven and he sat at the right hand of God. Then the disciples went out and preached everywhere, and the Lord looked with them and confirmed his word by the signs that accompanied it. However, I should mention this. About 20 years ago, there was, in North Carolina, there was a church that had these snakes and going on with them, and somebody did get bitten and they died. And the people of the congregation said, from what we got on the news anyway, they said, well, that wasn't a believer. Shouldn't have picked up the snake. They already knew that only the believers are going to be affected. Anyway, your response to that, Sister Kim is with us. Sister Kim?
Yeah, I remember that incident. That was all over the news. And, I know that it rocked the evangelical world when the person passed away, and it created a lot of discussion as to the validity of the churches, is what I remember. They never questioned the line in the Bible, but they were questioning whether or not these churches should be allowed to operate with deadly snakes and poison and things like that. But apparently they're still out there. So, I don't know what, if any, umbrella they operate under, like Baptists, and you've got the Southern Baptist Conference and things like that.
No,
I don't know
no.
if they're
I think these are Pentecostal, sister. They're not.
Pentecostals. Okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to imply they were Baptists. I was just trying to draw a comparison to the organization of the.
Well, I
churches.
have the video if you'd like to see it.
Yes, that would be great.
All right, let's do that right now. Guys, I'm not recommending anybody do this, but this was a challenge offered at a debate between Christians or Muslims or something. I don't know how. Somebody challenged, a Christian challenged the imam there to, said something about if you drink Zamzam water or something. I shouldn't say that. Let's just watch and see what happens here. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, I'll just quickly say something. Just in regards to the poison, quickly.
Yeah, I was going to respond to that.
Sorry, just in regards to the poison, as I said, that isn't in the earliest manuscript, so the poison doesn't work. And also in regards to, but even if it was in the earliest manuscripts, okay, you can respond.
I would love to know. I would love to know actually if you can drink that poison, because remember, guys, what Muhammad says: just drink the poison, get a date. It should help you.
That's right, it says that.
Okay. Date? Can someone go and get a date? And also, can someone check if it is poison or not?
Right, I think we should leave that there. I don't know what the public liability is like here. Hands up. I'm feeling a bit. Right.
So of course someone needs to question if that is poison or some deception is going there or not.
Sure.
We will check that.
That's right. Thank you. Just got a time as well. We'll get that checked in the labs shortly. Got a question down here, and then we're rapidly moving to close now. I can see a few more hands. We'll try to get through as many as we can. I'm going to limit the responses to 2 minutes now, because we want to finish just around 9 o'clock. Got a question here.
Okay, the Sheikh was going to prove that he is the real lover of Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him.
Okay, with regard to what Caleb said, that it was an honor for people to die for the sake of someone else in previous cultures and it's no longer honorable, then that would mean you should accept the marriage of Aisha radiallahu anha because it was a cultural accepted fact at that time and it's not accepted anymore. Additional to that, you mentioned a few more points, but I cannot remember them. Maybe the poison is taking its effect. I said,
is it real?
That you see, it's a matter of faith. This is a matter of faith. Yeah.
So you're saying it's real?
Basically, we had Ali there for you to cure and poison to drink. Now you said that you do not believe those verses are a part of the Bible. Yes? So you're telling us to believe in a Bible which has verses that you yourself do not believe in. Meaning, what kind of religion is this that one group of people are saying these are verses from God and another group of Christians are saying that these are not verses from God? This is a contradiction. So the Quran says, do you believe in some of the book and reject some of the book? So this is a big problem for Muslims because we accept all the Quran from beginning to end, but you have just acknowledged that this aspect is not from the Bible. So to conclude, the reason why a person should be a Muslim is because in Islam we have true belief in a monotheistic transcendent God, and which is a perfect absolute being. And if anyone believes in a human being, a man god, demigod, they are in fact falling into paganism and a
Wow. MashaAllah, mashallah. I'm not supposed to say wow, I'm supposed to say MashaAllah. Anyway, so we saw him actually doing exactly that. He said something about dates. Did you hear that, sister? He said about eating dates. Whoever ate
Yes, it sounded like they were quoting a hadith that said that if you drink the poison, follow it with a date. I've never heard that hadith.
No, I never heard it either, but he was willing to take that poison, the challenge that they passed the poison to him to drink, but I don't know why they would challenge that after they did that. Well, I guess, who knows? Maybe they don't believe that anybody could do that. I definitely do not encourage anybody. I'm saying do not do this at home. I don't know where they got this from. It's not anything that I'm aware of. I'm not saying it's not from Islam, but it's definitely not something that... but the challenge that he offered there was about the very verses we were talking about. And that's what I would like to caution somebody who wants to come at me with the Bible and say, come back to the Bible. I've spent a lot of years studying this Bible, and then after coming to Islam, studied it, comparing it to the text of the Quran. Now, here's what's very interesting, that we do have something similar to what... I think we better take this phone call. All right. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. MashaAllah.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Who is this?
This is Brother Habib.
Oh, Habib, mashallah. Yeah, because when you call in on the 800 number, it doesn't say any name or anything. You just say the number, you know. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I know. I was listening to tonight's show, and I always find this kind of interesting when you bring up about, drinking any poisonous thing, and then people take it literally, and he's like, oh, if we go and drink this, it's like we're going to live. But I think it's more of, if you accidentally drink this. So, but still, it's like, why would you test Allah that way? It makes absolutely no sense.
I'm with you on that one. I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, and I agree. Don't do this at all. Don't do it anywhere.
Yeah, but you know what? The interesting thing about this, it's talking about in the Bible. It says that people are going to have. I don't remember how it was. It says. I lost it. There was something that they were talking about in that program that it's inspired me to realize that there is something that in the... Yeah, because what they were saying about some of the Christians are arguing with other Christians about this verse or that verse. But here's a bigger thing, really. This is, by the way, this is Brother Habib. James. I get it right. James LeBlanc. Please forgive me. Sorry. Anyway, so I lost the whole topic now. The idea behind this one group fighting against another group over these verses. However, the Christians are supposed to believe the Ten Commandments. Is that right? I mean, if you don't know anything else,
yes,
you know the Ten Commandments. And whoever would violate even one of those commandments, then absolutely that would be a big thing. Those 10 commandments start with God is one and there's no God beside him. Clear, right? And then we've had many programs about that. But the second commandment, I found today some evidence about who exactly is the one that took it out for the Catholic Church. The second commandment has been removed from the commandments Now, it's not removed in their Bible. I saw that. At least I saw a recent one, the Douay Rheims Bible. But it was not in their creed, because they only had the 9 commandments, and then they split the last one up into 2 components. And it was very interesting, because guess what, the one that they took out, what do you think it was?
That would be just to worship your Lord, your God.
No, the second one is don't make any images, statues, or something to worship through that to get to me. Don't do that. And who is one?
Well, I used to be Catholic.
Okay, well, Pope Leo is the one. Leopold. I got his name wrong now. That's a thing for me tonight, isn't it? Anyway, there was a pope who took that commandment out, and then he split the last commandment up into 2 parts. And that really shocked me, because I didn't realize that they had an open confession that somebody had changed their Bible, open confession of changing the commandments. I mean, you know, this little thing at the end of the book of Mark pales in comparison to taking an entire commandment out of the 10 commandments. And by the way, the 10 commandments is in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5, but it's also in the book of Exodus, chapter 20. And one of those, he took it out, and I guess the other one, he didn't take it out. But the way they split it up at the end, where you're not supposed to have envy for your neighbor's wife or servants or manservants, and his donkey, his camel, or whatever, depending on which version you have, it's telling him that he splits it, and it's telling them now, don't have envy for this, and then don't have envy for that. But you took out the verse about all of the images and statues, and don't make anything as a graven image for God, from anything in the heavens above, for the earth beneath that, and then from the sea beneath that. Subhanallah, this is very troubling to me, because how can they be all hooked up on this one thing about snake bite, when there's a bigger snake bite that's coming in the Old Testament, when you throw out a whole commandment? I don't know. What's your take on that, Brother Habib?
See, when you, even in the Mass, during the Mass, when you're praying, you instill with the Coptic Christians, the Rosary, which is actually praying to the Blessed Mother, the Mother of Jesus, Miriam. Now think about this. To me, this is like, I used to be Catholic, and I understand where they're coming from, but as a Muslim, it's shirk. And so, and still, like, they have all these patron saints that you pray to, patron saint for traveling, saint for this, saint for that. They even pray to the dead. Like, I would pray to my mother for my mother to help me find my keys if I lose my keys.
Whoa!
And it's like, yeah. I mean, this is how crazy it is, because and I'm thinking about this as a Muslim, and I'm thinking the Day of Judgment, it's like, my mother looks at Allah and goes, I don't know why he prayed to me. It's like, I'm at rest. I can't answer the guy. If he was asking me this while I was alive, yeah, I could help him. I'm dead, so I can't do nothing. But people don't realize when they're doing these things how wrong it is.
Well, I want to go back to that drinking the poison thing, because I had never imagined I would see a Muslim do something like that. But they said that there's a hadith, that the non-Muslims were saying to him, there's a hadith that if you eat such and such kind of dates, I think that's what it was, and then if you for poison. In other words, if anybody has, like you were saying, if it accidentally happened, then here you go, get these dates and eat them, and it'll help you. So that's a whole way different from. I'll put it back up. Muslim drinks poison. I don't think I want to do that, but I'm sure that had an effect on the audience there. I don't know. What is your take on that, brother?
What comes to mind with this is there's when Jesus was tempted by Satan, and where Satan was asking him to jump down from this high place, and that angels will be in charge, so you wouldn't even hurt his feet. Basically, what it comes down to is Jesus says, don't tempt the Lord your God. So you don't do these type of things to tempt God. So that's why I don't understand the logic of anybody wanting to drink poison or to have snakes bite them to prove their faith in God. To me, that makes absolutely no sense.
Well, there is something in the Quran telling us not to, I want to see what the translation is like. Don't risk your life. Don't kill yourself by your own hand. That's how it's translated. Don't kill yourself by your own yad or hand. That is a very pointed thing, because it actually is in the middle of talking about your hand holding back wealth and not giving it, but don't destroy yourself by your own hand. So, but it's taken also to mean you can't kill yourself in Islam, and that's also a good idea, to not drink poison. Don't jeopardize yourself. I don't know how much more I can tell you. Don't do it. Sister Kim, what do you think about that?
I was just looking at various things online, and there's a hadith that says the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Whoever purposefully throws himself from a mountain and kills himself will be in the hellfire, falling down into it and abiding therein perpetually thereafter. And whoever drinks poison and kills himself with it, he will be carrying his poison in his hand and drinking it in the hellfire, wherein he will abide eternally forever. And whoever kills himself with an iron weapon will be carrying that weapon in his hand and stabbing his abdomen with it in the hellfire, wherein he will abide eternally forever." So I think that gives us a pretty clear explanation on why not to drink poison.
I think that is perfect, sister. I appreciate you finding that, because I had remembered it, but I couldn't quote it. So, yeah, I'm very glad you did that. Now,
yeah, that's from Bukhari, and I also found mentions of the hadith. Let me bring it up here. If a person eats 7 ajwa dates in the morning, poison and magic will not affect him until the night. And so I think that is the hadith that they were quoting.
The ajwa dates. Yes. Now I remember. I'm glad you reminded me. The ajwa dates are the little black dates that you like to have 7 of those every morning. Oh my God, they're delicious. Plus, they have that saying about them that, yes, it is the ajwa dates. And sister, you're doing better than me. I think I need to turn this show over to you. You're doing great, really. But I think it would be smart for us to just say in wrapping all of this up, just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. And if you don't get that, I'll repeat it. Just don't do it. It says do it, but it says a little arrow up there. Don't do it. So this is a very important lesson for all of us, guys. I think that what Sister was talking about from Islam is better than trying to drink poison to prove something for anybody. Because if you accidentally did it, and then you took because there are some kind of poisons that would eat up your body before you could even get the dates in there. So that would be a smart thing to stay far away from. All right, so don't do that. Don't do that at home. And the advice from Islam is protect yourself at all times, tie your camel, and don't get involved in these challenges, okay? Debates bring a lot of heat, but not very much light. So, Sister, tell everybody what to do. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned and stay guided with Guidus TV.
Ah, yeah. I love the way you say that. This is Yusuf Estes, and I'm looking for something. Actually, I'm looking for someone. Is that someone you? I want Dawah partners, and you can be my Dawah partner right now. It's real easy. Just go to dawahpartners.com, sign up, and join me. There are 3 things that I would like for you to be able to do. Any one of them or all of them. Beautiful. Number 1, you will make dua. So you can be our Dawah partner, even if you don't go to the website, but I hope you do. Number 2, share. Share this message and let other people know about becoming Dawah partners. And number 3, help us financially. Donate on a monthly basis, even if it's small. Allah loves the thing that you do regularly, even if it's small, more than the thing that you do that's really big, but you only do it once. Join me as a Dawah partner. Do it now. Click, 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 click.